Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Psalm 121. Psalm 121. Yeah, if he goes down, it's all over. It's
over with now.
Amen. Psalm 121, New King James, I'll read into your hearing. I will lift up my eyes to the hills, from which comes my help. My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. He will not allow your foot to be moved. He who keeps you will not slumber. Behold, he who keeps Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun shall not strike you by day, nor the noon by night. The Lord shall preserve you from all evil. He shall preserve your soul. The Lord shall preserve your going out and your coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. I'm going to talk to you from this subject, the God who keeps. Turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor. Neighbor. Preacher's going to preach about it. The God who keeps. The God who keeps. Amen. That's enough right there. The God who keeps. The God who keeps. The God who keeps. Verse 5 tells us the Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade, your right hand. The sun shall not strike you by noon, by day, and by the moon by night. The Lord is your keeper. The God who keeps. This may have been used as an antiphonal song, meaning singing or altering hymns, that the pilgrims sang as they journeyed through to Jerusalem to celebrate a feast. All right. The superscription of this psalm tells us that it is a song of degrees. That is a psalm that worshipers would sing as they made their way to Jerusalem to participate in one of three great annual feasts: Passover, Pentecost, and Tabernacle. Right. With that in mind, it is plain to see that this is a pilgrim song. It tells us of the dangers of the journey and of the help that God provides along the way. Brothers and sisters, safety is something about which the pilgrims would be especially concerned about. Right. As they journey on the roads through the hill country. In verse 1, it shows us it is not a declaration of hope, but rather it is a cry of despair. Yeah. The psalmist is telling us that the danger is lurking in the hills above and is waiting for the opportunity to pounce upon the weary traveler. When that happens, we can see the pilgrim turns to the hills for help. The psalmist asks his own question by reminding us that the Lord is our help. Brothers and sisters, I remind you this morning, we are pilgrims. Right, oh, yes, we are. Right. The message of this psalm applies to you and I. Today it gives us the assurances, Reverend Brantley, that what we need as we journey in this life. The psalmist tells us about the source of our help, who is greater than any problem imaginable. Right. These particular verses, you have resting in your laps, you will find help for the journey. The opening line, notice what it says. It said, I will lift up my eyes. I will lift up my eyes to the hills, from which my help comes from. And it goes on to verse 2, tells us, as I exegeted, for my help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. Notice the text. It tells us he is our creator. The psalmist knew that his help would not come from the hills. Right. Stay with me. In times past, you all, the hills had had been places of idolatry.
Yeah.
And false religion.
All right.
And the apostate Jews worshiped the other gods on the shrines. In other words, the high places. You've been educated here in the hills. 2 Kings 16 and Jeremiah talked about in chapter 3. But the faithful people of God looked above the hills.
Yeah, there it is.
To the great God who created all things. Y'all stay with me now. And when the travelers caught the sight of Jerusalem, situated on the mountain, amen, Psalm 87:1, they knew that God dwelt there. See, they knew that God was above the hills. In his sanctuary and provided the help that they needed. Listen, if God can make this world, then surely he has the power to take care of you.
Right. That's it.
If he put waves in the ocean, he sure enough can take care of you. If he put sound in the wind, he sure enough can take care of you. If he put a quack in a duck, he sure enough can take care of you. If he put a growl in a dog, he sure enough can take care of you. If he put green in some grass, preach, Reverend Miles, he sure enough can take care of you. If he put snow on a mountain, Sister Hedwood, he sure enough can take care of you.
All right now.
If he put water in a cloud, he sure enough can take care of you. Verse 3 tells us, I will not allow, watch this, your foot to be moved. He who keeps you will not slumber. I really Hedwood, I had fun when I looked at that verse. His eyes are on us. This verse tells us that the Lord will not allow your foot to be moved. This word translated move means to slip. Means to slide, to stagger, to be shaken. Y'all ever slipped on some ice? And the age we are, we just knew it was all over with. You slipped and you didn't make it out. You said, oh Lord, just thank you, Jesus.
Yes, sir. I know that's right.
Because if you hit it too hard, and you don't have to hit it hard, you just think you're going to just break something. How easy it would be to sprain an ankle, even fall and break a bone while walking on uneven rocky paths. Lord is concerned, Sister Mila, about our feet. He's concerned about our walk. Keep means to guard and protect, and it is used in the Psalms. If you look at verse 3 and 4, and 5 and 7, he talks about keep 2 times. Lord is able to keep us. God knows how easy it is for all of us to slip in the sin. And it's a discouragement. Amen. Some of y'all know that old song, that group back in the day. Yes, sir. Slipping in the dark. You know about it. Slipping into darkness. Hedwood knows it, Brother Young. And it didn't take much, you all, for us to slip
That's right.
into darkness.
That's just the truth.
Yeah. Slip in the dark. And the rest of that song said, when I heard my mother say.
When I heard,
Y'all know it. Slipping.
Go ahead and make it plain.
God knows how easy it is for us to slip in the dark. You must remember that he is ever with us in that darkness. And he promised to sustain us with his presence and power. What Hebrews said, Hebrews 13:5, I would never leave you or forsake you. See, all the time, we leave God. Don't we? God don't leave us. You're in that hospital bed, God's right there.
Amen.
Amen. You pray that he's with the nurses and the doctors and all the medical examiners. God don't leave us. We leave him. Amen. We need to remember that the Lord has never made a house that fell nor a foundation that crumbled. Now there will be times when we feel like giving up, throwing in the towel. And I said last week, sometimes you are going to be wounded. This world is cruel, it's mean. We need to realize that He's lifted us out of the miry clay of this world, you all, and has established our goings. We're constantly being reinforced and held steady by the mighty hand of the Lord. Psalm 40, 1 through 3. Look at verse 4. Behold, he who keeps Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. That helped me out, Reverend Bradley, when I looked at that text. Watch this. Even when we sleep, God watches over us. That's right. Because he does not sleep. That's right. Amen. He is ever awake and ever active on our behalf. And in other words, he doesn't weary. Right. God doesn't get tired. And he does not fall asleep at the switch. Right. Therefore, it is no need for us to worry. Right. And there is no need for us to fret. Right. There's no need for us to lose our one moment of sleep and any time because of this problem or that problem. Right. And you know, I found out something, Deacon Kennedy, when it seems like God is doing nothing, that's when he's at his best. That's it, man. That's for me. It seems like he ain't doing nothing. Don't worry about 45 and 1600. Don't worry about what's going on with the governor of Missouri. Don't worry about what's going on with all these folks doing this. Don't worry. You think God is at his best when it seems like he's not doing nothing. Amen. What a blessing to know that we can depend on him. Jeremiah penned in Lamentations 3:23, he said, great is thy faithfulness. His compassion fail us not. It's new, his mercy, it's new and fresh every morning. That's what I like about God, brother. Well, he don't give us no leftover. This air we bring today, that's fresh air. That's not yesterday's air, that's air for today. Fresh air. Illustration, y'all, true story. During World War II, the Germans were bombing London. All night, every night, all night. After one terrible attack, the people of London began to search through the rubble by looking for the dead and the injured. True story. And after a while, all had been accounted for, but one elderly lady, one elderly grandma. They searched everywhere, Brother Townsend, for her family, and finally, someone found her in the bedroom, asleep in her own bed. They were shocked, and they asked her, ma'am, how could you sleep with all those bombs and all those missiles and all that stuff, all that bombing, all those bombs dropping all around you? And her answer is priceless. She said, well, the Bible says that he who sleeps over Israel never slumbers nor sleeps. And I decided that there was no use of both of us staying up. That's right. That's it, man. So I went to sleep. I went to sleep and left it in the Lord's hands. Y'all don't hear me? That's it. Some of us just worried ourselves to death. Say your prayers and go to sleep. Worry about what's going on outside. If you leave, you're going to go. Paul said, I've been betwixt between the two. To be present with the Lord or absent from the body, which is far better. It's going to get you some rest. Don't worry about what's going on. The Lord promised to keep Jacob. Remember that? Who became the father of the 12 tribes of Israel. Genesis 28. And he protects Jacob's descendants, amen, as well. Church and neighbors, the Lord is our keeper. He's watching us as we sleep. Verse 5 and 6, I won't hold you long. The Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. the sun shall not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. What does that mean? I'm glad you asked. This verse tells us that the Lord is your shade upon the right hand. In ancient times, warriors carried two items in the battle. One was a sword, the other was a shield. One was a sword, the other was a shield. Normally, Christian brothers and sisters, the shield was carried by the left hand, and the sword was in the right. That meant, stay with me, that the right side was vulnerable to attack, since there was no shield for protection upon it. So the psalmist is telling us that God takes up a deliberate defensive position to protect us where we're most vulnerable. Y'all don't hear me? The things that God permits to happen to us is in his will may hurt us, but will not harm us. Lord, help me today. Whether by day or night, whether it's hot or cold, y'all don't hear me. Whether it's year to year, sun to moon, whatever the changes might be, the Father's presence provides all of us with what we need. And that's why we're most vulnerable. That's why when we're not protected on a certain side, that's why the Lord becomes our shield. Amen. Amen, somebody. Amen. So as you look at this, don't worry. He's going to protect you when it's cold, when it's hot, in the noonday, or when the sun goes down. He's going to be there. Verse 7 and 8. The Lord shall preserve you from evil. These bodies, our bodies, Brother Shoemaker, much like volcanoes. At any moment, the sin that is in us. Am I messing with y'all too much? At any moment, you'll go off.
Yeah, they go.
I guess I'm preaching to the choir.
No, you got the right
At
phone.
any moment,
Yeah.
get the wrong phone call.
That ain't preacher.
You done had a bad night and you wake up and somebody cut you off driving down Pearl.
Oh, Lord.
At any moment, the sin that has been in us can burst forth.
In a minute.
Amen. And commit.
Yeah.
Reverend Head would just crack it up. And commit something imaginable.
Yeah.
See, the flesh you are, which we carry around, is utterly depraved.
Yeah, it is, man.
You ain't that good.
That's right, man. That's it.
That's the amount of just messing with me right now. No, you ain't that good.
That's right.
Y'all need some help. Paul said in Romans 7, 18 through 19, he said, for I know that in me,
No good
that
thing.
in my flesh, Mo knows it, there's nothing good you all that do.
That's right.
And he said, for the will is present within me. He said, but how do I perform what is good I do not find?
That's it.
He said, I just can't do it. He said, for the good that I want to do.
Yes, sir.
Y'all help me preach this thing.
Amen. Go ahead, preacher.
I don't do.
Right.
And the evil I will to do. Amen. That's what I practice.
That's what I do.
Amen. Which is far better. Those are the things I do what's already in me. So don't build yourself up too much. You're like a volcano. You can just go on anytime.
That's right.
I'm talking about y'all married brothers too. Praise be the Lord. Y'all quiet. You don't want me to go down that road, do you? You can go off anytime. Amen. Brothers and sisters, like Paul, the flesh does not cooperate with the desire to do good, which we wish to do, you all, God's will. However, there's always a however. There's always a however. Let me get out of here. The phrase going out and coming in refers to the daily activities of life. Moses talked about that in Deuteronomy 28 and 6. And the Father is concerned about our tasks Oh, he's concerned. He's concerned, Sister Lockhart, about our schedules and even our so-called minor details. Yeah. You think God is not concerned about the minor details? Yes, he is.
Amen.
See, we get concerned about the major details, but he's concerned about the minor details. Can I really help you? He's concerned about the little white lies you talk about.
Yeah.
He's concerned about them little people you don't think much of that you talk about. You're minor. Yeah. You don't have to talk about 45 and the governor and the mayor and the amen and the pastor. That little person that barely comes to church. Amen. He's concerned about that. Amen. That little girl you talk about, amen, that don't have much clothes and she's wearing that dress that's 7 inches too short. Amen. He's concerned about the minor details. Amen. That we often take for granted. He's concerned about the minor details. What would it like to know that as we go in and out of the house, as we go to and fro in the city, and even fly, from city to city, and we go from country to country, the Father is with us and he cares about our every need. That's why it said, casting all your care upon him, for he cares for you. I like what Peter said. And then the psalmist said in 73, he said, my flesh and my heart fail, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever. I'm done, y'all. With the Lord bless you real good. Who can mind this journey when the road leads home? Y'all know we just passing through. Because these roads we own, amen, they're going to lead us to a new home. Yes, sir. Well, the streets will be paved with gold. Amen. Will there be no more weeping? No more medical attention. You won't have to take no more blood pressure meds or diabetic shots. There's a God who keeps us because we have a righteousness that can never be ruined. We have a peace, preach Pastor Milan, that can never be bothered. We have a foundation that can never be shaken. We have a freedom that can never be restricted. We have a help that can never be hindered. Oh yeah, we have a promise. Oh yeah, that can never be broken. We have a confidence that can never be disturbed. We have a refuge that can never be conquered. We have a victory. Oh yeah, we have a victory that can never be lost. And we have a future that can never be regretted. I'm so glad that the songwriter made that song. He said, Lord, I lift my eyes to the hills. Y'all know that song. The choir even sings that song. It's called Total Praise. Say, Lord, I will lift my eyes to the hills, knowing my help is coming from you. Your peace you give me in time of the storm. You are my source. You are my strength. You are the strength of my life. I lift my hands in total praise to you. You are the source of my strength. You are the strength of my life. And we should lift our hands in total praise. Because he's a keeper. He's a keeper. He's a keeper. Thanks be to God. The God who keeps. When it looks like God ain't doing nothing, that's when he's at his best. The God who is a great keeper. May God bless you. Amen. 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 That's why we ought to just lift our hands in total praise. Because if God kept you, he woke you up this second Sunday in March. We don't praise you enough. In 2018, a day we never seen before, a day we never be seen again. And you haven't been so good. In fact, we've been down like ugly sometimes. But that's why we ought to just lift our hands to God. in total praise. Because he is. Look to the hills. Lift our eyes into the hills, which come by help. Knowing that our help, comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. Praise be to God. Let us stand. I extend the invitation to Christian discipleship. Thank you, Jesus. The God who keeps. The God who keeps.